The history of conquest and many years of struggle for independence bring Ukraine and Peru together. To mark the 400th anniversary of the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire, an exhibition of a unique illustrated Peruvian chronicle was opened in Kyiv. The Great Bell Tower of the Kyiv Lavra was chosen as the prime location for this exhibition, and that was for a good reason. In its time, the Bell Tower housed a library of around 30,000 books and 400 manuscripts. Moreover, the Kyiv Lavra is included on the UNESCO World Heritage List of Sites, and the exhibited chronicles are included in the list of objects of this international organization's Memory of the World Register.
La exhibición de hoy día es muy importante.
The exhibition features a collection of drawings from the late 16th to early 17th centuries.
Ucrania pues tiene muy buenas maquinarias, muy buenos aviones y
Their author, Felipe Huaman Poma de Ayala, was the son of a Spaniard and an Incan princess.
Poma era hijo de español con una princesa inca.
He dedicated himself to travels throughout all of Latin America, and with the help of his drawings, he documented all cases of abuse of power on the part of the Spanish conquerors.
Y escribió un libro al rey de España.
He included more than 300 drawings in his book titled The New Chronicle and Good Governance, which he wrote for the King of Spain. In this book, he gave advice on improving governance in Latin America. In the early 17th century, this book was sent to the Spanish king, but it never got to Spain.
En algún momento fue capturado el libro y entregado, no se sabe cómo, apareció en Dinamarca, en los archivos reales de Dinamarca.
The manuscript was intercepted. Only in 1908 was it discovered in Danish archives. It remains a mystery how the book ended up there. The Danish government allowed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Peru to make a copy of the book.
Por primera vez está todo el libro copiado, porque antes, a partir de 1909...
And so, for the first time in history, an accurate copy of the book The New Chronicle and Good Governance was created. Peru organized exhibitions of this book in Europe and, of course, in the Danish capital Copenhagen.
Con la condición que se haga una exposición itinerante en Europa y, por supuesto, en Copenhague. Nosotros como una muestra de amistad hacia Ucrania y celebrando los 25 años.
And to stress our friendly relationship with Ukraine, we also organized an exhibition in Kyiv. These drawings present an opportunity to be imbued with Incan history, culture and traditions.
La cosmogonía que ellos tenían, los ídolos que adoraban, cómo llega la religión, cómo se transforma la sociedad y pasa a ser una sociedad.
They reflect the transformation of the Inca community into a society, where the world outlook of the Spaniards and the natives was rather convoluted. This exhibition served as a special opportunity to mark the anniversary of the diplomatic relations between our two countries.
Queríamos que este año, celebrando los 25 años de relaciones diplomáticas con Ucrania, se pudiera exhibir esta muestra aquí.
On December 26, 1991, the Republic of Peru recognized the independence of Ukraine, and very soon the two countries established diplomatic relations.
Relaciones diplomáticas entre Ucrania y Perú se basan en un sentimiento de amistad y por razones.
Diplomatic relations between Peru and Ukraine are based on friendship, mutual understanding and cooperation.
Pero tenemos un consulado honorario que es muy activo y una agregaduría económica a cargo del señor.
Peru was one of the most countries to recognize the independence of Ukraine. This year, our countries will celebrate 25 years of mutually beneficial diplomatic relations.
Celebrado hace unos meses 25 años del establecimiento de relaciones diplomáticas.
For Peruvians, the struggle for independence is not just some words to the wind. The liberation movement on the Peruvian land lasted for many years, right up until 1821. Europeans in certain times became supporters of this struggle. Among them was a Ukrainian military engineer named Mikhailo Skibitsky, also known in Latin America as Miguel Rolla. Mikhailo was directly involved in the war against Spanish colonialists, for which he was rewarded by Latin American leaders in his lifetime. And in 2016, a statue was erected and unveiled in his honor in Lima, the capital of Peru.
En la época de la independencia, numerosos fueron los europeos que fueron a luchar. Los peruanos somos un pueblo que vive.
In the era of the struggle for independence, many Europeans came to Peru to help us and all of Latin America. At that time, the liberation movement was taking place in many countries. Let us recall the French Revolution and the struggle for independence in the United States.
Era el sentimiento libertario que venía después de la Revolución Francesa y de la independencia americana. Entonces tenemos efectivamente un monumento a un héroe.
With the help of monuments, Peruvians perpetuated the memory of the Europeans who helped us and their descendants today live in Peru.
Fundaron familias en el Perú.
In the 21st century, trade is the basis of the relationship between Ukraine and Peru. Numerous business forums serve as a platform for its development. Since 2015, Ukraine has been a particularly active participant of these forums.
Los campos son dos específicamente. El más importante es el campo comercial.
We work most actively in two sectors. The first one is the sphere of commerce. Our trade relations are very strong, and I hope that they will continue to actively develop in the future. This year, many Ukrainian companies participated in the food industry exhibition Expo Alimentaria 2017 in Peru and the International Ore Mining Industry Forum.
Es ahí donde hay un campo muy grande para las empresas ucranianas, la cosmogonía que ellos tenían, los ídolos que adoraban, cómo llega la religión, cómo se transforma la sociedad, porque el Perú y Ucrania tienen economías complementarias.
This is a vast field of activity for Ukrainian enterprises. The key sectors of the economies of Peru and Ukraine complement each other quite well. We're not competitive on the global market. We supply agricultural products, minerals, and fish, while Ukraine in turn is known for its powerful heavy industry sector, particularly mechanical engineering and aviation.
Muy bueno todo lo que es la parte industrial. Y el segundo plano es el plano educativo. Hay varios estudiantes peruanos aquí.
The second major sphere of active cooperation is education. Many of my compatriots study in your country, and we hope that in the near future Ukrainian students will become interested in studying in Peruvian higher learning institutions.
Son los idiomas, en idioma inglés es la enseñanza.
For young Ukrainians, this will be a fantastic opportunity, not only to get a good education, but also to discover the world of Latin America, a new culture and a new country, Peru. Since 2004, the governments of the two countries have an agreement on mutual recognition of documents on education and academic degrees. However, some Peruvians long ago finished their education in Ukraine and found a second home here.
La comunidad peruana acá en Ucrania es, digamos, relativamente pequeña, más o menos 150 personas.
The Peruvian community in Ukraine is relatively small and is growing, as a rule, on two levels. The first is former students who came here to study many years ago, but later got married, started families in Ukraine, and decided to stay here.
Que vinieron hace muchos años a Kyiv, se casaron y nunca regresaron al Perú, tienen sus familias acá. Y también
The second level is young people who are currently studying in Ukrainian universities. The Ukrainian diaspora in Peru consists of engineers and professors who got married there and as a result stayed in Latin America. And recently, we see the same trend. Many Peruvians and Ukrainians are creating families together. Often, certain individuals deserve credit for the development of diplomatic relations between countries. The efforts of the Ukrainian ambassador to Peru, Alexander Mikhalchuk, who was appointed in the most difficult period in 2013 and just returned home, did not go unnoticed by the Peruvian government.
Como embajador del Perú en Ucrania, concurrente porque resido en Polonia, en Varsovia, para denunciar.
As an ambassador with concurrent accreditation to Ukraine, I received a special mission to bestow the highest award of the Republic of Peru, Order of the Sun, to the Ukrainian ambassador Alexander Michalchuk.
Alexander Michalchuk. Él ha hecho una gran labor en el Perú para incrementar las relaciones.
He did an excellent job in Peru to develop relations between our countries. I want to note his high professionalism, thanks to which cooperation in the sphere of economy and education reached a new level.
Por la situación política, lo supo llevar con mucho profesionalismo, entendió muy bien el nivel de las relaciones, desarrolló a nivel económico, a nivel.
I am particularly pleased to note his achievements because I have known him for a long time personally. When he worked as an ambassador in Peru, I headed the European direction in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In the life of a diplomat, rotations are a common thing, and here we met again for the delivery of the most important order of Peru. It was founded by General José de San Martin in 1821 after independence. This order commended notable merits in the struggle for independence of Peru and a special contribution to the development of relations with Peru.
Para todos aquellos que habían luchado por la independencia y para todos aquellos que contribuyesen a incrementar relaciones con el Perú.
For the first time, the Order of the Sun was awarded to the Ukrainian diplomat.
A un diplomático ucraniano.
Alberto Salas Barahona served in the embassies of Peru in France, Austria, and the Czech Republic. From 2016, he was appointed ambassador of Peru to Ukraine concurrently. The ambassador compensates his rare visits to Ukraine with detailed studying of Ukrainian history and culture.
He leído mucho sobre Ucrania, siempre sobre la historia de Ucrania, sobre el arte, por supuesto.
I always read a lot about Ukraine, its history and art. By the way, I am a fan of your Dynamo football team. In general, I have always been interested in the culture of Ukraine, with its poets and artists. Ukrainian cuisine is something special. This time, our honorary consulate of Peru in Ukraine prepared a wonderful program for me.
El Perú fue uno de los primeros países en reconocer la independencia de Ucrania. Yo poco a poco.
I'm gradually discovering Ukraine. The first time I arrived here in December to present my credentials. Unfortunately, I had a busy schedule and could only stay here for one day. It was a severe winter, and being a Latin American, it was difficult for me to withstand the frost. I noticed that our peoples have a great deal in common. This is primarily an affinity for nature. We traditionally have a strong connection with the land, and there are many rituals associated with the agrarian sector in our cultures. And we really love music. Ukrainians are also very musical people and are always open to direct contact with nature. I saw several performances of Ukrainian folk music groups in Lima and in Warsaw. These concerts are always met with great enthusiasm.
Con mucho entusiasmo, con mucha espontaneidad, y es lo que nos acerca. Y otra cosa que nos acerca mucho es también la cuestión de la religión.
Also, Ukrainians and Peruvians share a reverential attitude towards religion. In our countries, most of the inhabitants are Christians. This greatly contributes to the rapprochement and good mutual understanding between Ukrainians and Peruvians.
Lo cual nos acerca, digamos, a nivel de la comprensión, a nivel de la complementariedad entre los pueblos.